Hello, welcome to my show. My name is Fanny Kemoy. Right here, I'm with Abdulkarim Taraja. He calls himself the king of Jiamini Empire. He is the CEO and founder of Elgon Center for Education and alumni of cohort 39 at Jiamini Regional Leadership Center, East Africa, and alumni of Mandela Washington Fellowship. Maybe Taraja, you can tell us in your own words, who is Abdulkarim Taraja?
Um, Thank you so much, Anis, and welcome to the Jiamini Center. This is the Jiamini complex, where is the office of the Elgon Center for Education. So my name is Abdulkarim Taraja, and aka Jiamini. Jiamini is it's not just a word to me, it means so many things. It is a summary of my personality and a summary of my struggles all along. And it's one thing that inspires me to keep doing what I do. I know sometimes we struggle all along so many things. Sometimes if you don't believe in yourself, there's so many chances of you failing in some instances. So for me, I know as a human being, we fail most of the time, but I have that belief that I can always achieve what I want when I believe in myself. And so that name, Jiamini, is all about a summary of where I've come from and where I'm heading to. And I know all along we have a lot of challenges that we keep on stumbling into. And so whenever I believe in myself, I'll conquer whatever I put myself into. So that is it. Even what you've mentioned about YALI, regional leadership, East Africa, and ultimately the Mandela Washington Fellowship. It's all about the idea of believing in myself and believing that I can do anything anyone else can do, because these opportunities are there for everyone. But it only takes out somebody who is about to distinguish themselves in what they do. And so that's the spirit of Jiamini and believing in itself.
You know, in a short period, you have achieved a lot. And the young generation would like to know, where did Jiamini went to school? Which school did you go?
Yeah, I'm just an ordinary fellow, born in the ordinary and the remotest villages in this world. Born and raised in Chebiuk and schooled there, born in a family that has known to be a squatter since, not owned anything. And so it's not been easy for some of us to grow up. And accessing education has been a very big challenge. Like in my family of about 12, I'm the only one who's been lucky to actually pursue education to the level that I am currently. Not the issue. So you see a whole community fighting on something that though it's important, but it has affected so many lives. And that's why the spirit of believing in myself to pursue education started at that time. Because when I look back at my family, I see like there's a lot of darkness in it. Darkness that is brought due to the lack of ability to access education. I also see the community and the villages that I grew up as also the place where there are no development in terms of education, and so people keep on fighting over some small resources that they can access and forget about investing in education so that we can have a proper thinking or proper way of looking things differently. And so that's why I came out to start the organization of Elgon Center for Education in a bit to play my role as a citizen to promote access to education for people. Yeah, that's what it is. And I know you asked me about the question of being successful in the short time. For me, I believe I'm not even successful as per now, because this organization is still very young. Whatever I've been able to do, I think that it's just on the foundational basis. Yeah, Where I am currently, I really thank God because of the opportunities that I've gotten as a young person. It has given me an opportunity to build my capacity, to build my profile, and also network with the rest of the world. It's the most important thing that many young people are not able to access and get that. But as well, in terms of developing as an organization, I think we are about to start. We have not yet started. What we've been doing is just, rehearsing on how we are going to do our things. But I really, really do appreciate the opportunities that I've gotten. For instance, the Mandela Washington Fellowship. I think I'm the first person from the slopes of the mountain to get that opportunity.
Yes, you are.
And opportunity to travel to the United States and interact with the rest of African youth and the global. It was one of the best moments in my life that I will always cherish. And
It
I'm
was
hoping,
long.
yeah, it was for 6 weeks. 6 weeks, that's around 42 days. And you go there, you are placed in a top university in the US, um, where you'll be able to study, learn more about the exchange program between the upcoming young leaders in Africa and the organizations and the leading leaders in the United States. And so it was a very educative and important mission that we were able to undertake when we were there. And currently, as we are back now, we continue networking and we continue keeping in touch with the connections that we made in the United States so that we can see what better things can come from that collaboration in the future. And I'm looking forward for the Organization Elgon Center for Education to get some key partnerships from the American organizations and American personalities in order for us to improve on what we do in our community.
Okay. What do you see as education in, especially in Mt.Elgon, for the culture?
Education in Mt.Elgon for the girl child is a bit promising to some extent, but we still have a long way to go. I'm saying it's a bit promising because I've gone to so many local schools in the region, in the community, and every school that I go, especially for a mentorship program for the candidate class, that is standard 8, there is no school I've gone and found that there are more boys than girls. That's the most strange thing that I've recently followed since 2019. Every class, candidate class that I go, you have more girls than boys. And this one is even inspired by the Ministry of Education when releasing the national examination results. And Bungoma is one of the counties that has more girls registered than boys. And this I've also found it myself in every school that I go. The first thing I want to understand how many girls and how many boys are in school. And you find that in that candidate class, there are more girls than boys. And it is something that I've been asking myself, why is this happening? And I realized that most of the schools that I've visited, actually, like those who border mostly the forest and the forest. Most of the young boys actually are involved in other economic activities such as farming, and paying less attention to education. On the other hand, girls are actually getting that opportunity to go to school. So there is an opportunity for girls, but to continue with school, but then they are faced with a lot of challenges, especially the rising cases of teenage pregnancies, early marriages, and this is affecting the same girls. Though they are in school more, but the challenges they are facing are a lot. Yeah, especially in the slopes of the Mt.Elgon and the places that they border forest. Most of these people, because they interact with young people who have not gone to school, some young men who have lots of cash because they can access some agricultural benefits, and they have money. And then also the border issue menace. You find out that these young girls, though they are going to school, some are becoming pregnant because they cannot access things. And when they come pregnant as well, they depend on these other people to feed them or to take care of them. So it's a challenge that we still have to confront, especially in these cases of teenage pregnancy.
What is your parting shot to the youth and young generation who are still in school, who are struggling? They say, I'm in school, but there's no job.
My parting shot, that this is always what I say to the so many young people and learners that I meet in school. I grew up in a family that has so many challenges in terms of supporting my education. And I dropped school for some time, about 6 years, dropping out of school before now I resumed now to join high school. And what actually led this, or what helped me is I looked at the challenges that I was going through. I looked at them as opportunities for me. I did not look at those challenges as things to put me down. In fact, the more I see the challenges around me, I see the opportunities. And this is what I tell every young lad that I meet in schools and everywhere that we meet. That when you see yourself surrounded by so many challenges, whether it's from your parents, whether it's from your home or village, it is now to look at those challenges as the opportunities that you need to do. So when I realized I was having these challenges and my parents could not be able to support me through education, so I saw myself like, okay, if I don't work hard and turn these challenges, there's chances that I'm going to suffer for a long time. So I decided to shut the challenges, the doors of the challenges of my family and my community, and concentrated in studying. At the end of it, I told myself, if I study hard and get the best marks, the world will come and teach me. Someone will come and say, you know what, you cannot get 400 marks and just stay at home. People will come and I'll go to school. And that's exactly what happened. So by the time I did my final KCP and got better marks, the world came calling, and I got the sponsorship and opportunity now to go through high school. And since then, none of my parents or my family members has paid anything in school. The world has taken over because I turned my challenges into the opportunities. And so what I tell young people is, when you see a challenge, turn the challenge into opportunity. See yourself as the provider of the solution to that challenge. So when you're going through challenges in academics or whatever, just hang on and look into yourself like you are the best person now to go ahead and turn these challenges into opportunities for yourself and for others. And that's what I do. You can rise above the challenges and become something else. If only I looked at those challenges and feel sad about myself, I wouldn't be able to be where I am. But when I looked at those challenges, I looked at them and smiled. And I said, I think this is the time for me to pursue what I can so that I can come in the future and change the tide and maybe talk about it. And that's why I'm proud to own this organization and hopefully to use it in the near future to make that necessary motivation to other young people across this region and beyond, that we can all rise above the challenges, and we do. Finally, for the young people of my caliber or my age, you just need to start doing something you believe in. If you're passionate about something, you don't need to have everything to start. You just start from where you are, from whatever you have, anytime where you are, and you can be able to do one thing at a time. This organization just started like anything else. I had it as a Jiamini because I thought like, what will happen if somebody stops me and tells me, Abdul, I'm suffering from ABCD. What advice can you give me? And I thought to myself like, okay, if I have only 1 second to assist somebody or to tell somebody something that can change their thinking, what will I say? And so the first word that came into my mind is Jiamini. Yes. And that is how this organization started. Yeah, by going to schools and talking to young people, sharing, because I may not have anything to give them, but at least I have something to say. yeah, sometimes it works, miracles, and I've gone through this for the last 5 years. I've met so many young people, of course, who still remember when I was in schools. I see some people who send me texts or whatever, appreciating what has happened, and it's great to start doing something. Whatever you're passionate about, for me currently, I'm passionate about promoting access to education. Somebody else can wake up in the morning and say, oh, this mountain has a lot of potential in terms of agriculture, and I'm passionate about it. What can I do? And you can start something maybe to get a better market for the farmers, and that is where you can build your. Somebody else, we have the best environmental or tourist attraction or whatever. Somebody else can wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm so passionate about tourism, but there are so many opportunities lying, and wake up in the morning and do something. We can all do something, and we touch the entire part of the economy, and we be prosperous in that.
Thank you very much, Abdulkarim, for giving me this opportunity, and continue the work we're doing. We're doing great.
Thank you so much.